12 years after Bullygate with the Richie Incognito and ex-Dolphins offensive lineman Jonathan Martin. Turns out all fake. It was all a lie. Read an excerpt from Jonathan Martin. He says, "I never believed for a second I was being bullied." Man, Coach, 12 years later, this comes out. Obviously, cost of Richie Incognito a whole season, kind of being blackballed from the NFL. He's still, 4-time Pro Bowler, but his career was never the same after this Bullygate scandal and saga. We've seen him come out on Twitter, just saying he couldn't cut it in the NFL, so he quit, and his mom blamed me. Legacy media pushed his narrative along the far. Too bad it was all a lie. Coach, I think you have some insight on the situation and thoughts. Go ahead.
It's gay. That's what it was. This kid is so soft. This guy right here, I called it out years ago when I said, man, this shit is soft. This guy didn't do it. I actually talked to Richie about this whole thing years ago. This kid right here wanted attention. He was like a Michael Sam of the NFL, an absolute mockery. He was soft as doo-doo, and he wanted attention, period, point blank. There's nothing else about it. He is one of the originators of why football has become what it has become. Soft, cancel culture vultures run the locker room, waiting to tell on you and tattletale on you and go bring bullying back. Mm-hmm. Incognito was just a regular football guy playing football. And this dude wanted to make up all this shit, man. Like, I don't get it. Go back to the Pouncey twins, because I'm going to get Mike and them on here. Mm-hmm. This is us bullying Mike Pouncey for wearing a blanket during a buggy ride to dinner in Indianapolis the night before the game. This was 2013.
Looks pretty happy to me.
And we'll get Pouncey on here. We'll get the Pouncey twins on like we've had before, and they're gonna laugh. They're gonna laugh at everybody out there who thought this was a real bullying type of thing. It's unbelievable, man, that they gave this guy, basically blackballed this guy. They basically blackballed him.
They did blackball him, no doubt.
They blackballed him. They blackballed Richie for a long time. I think even Gruden talked about it and other guys talked about it. This is a scandal that just deserves some retribution. I mean, this is like a Netflix scandal. Like, pay the man now. Shit. Like, I can't believe this is a bullying. We need to bring bullying back, man. This is really what we need to bring back, because this is what it was. Football used to be a real gladiator sport played by men. And now, and this wasn't like they were tying the guy up and handcuffing like, come on, man. Bullying used to be just fun and games in the locker room by veterans to let you know where your place was on the table. Like, hey, Martin, your place on the table is at the end right now. You're a youngster. You need to learn the ropes, and we're going to fuck with you. I mean, come on, dog. Every rookie used to be hazed, get thrown in the ice bath. We used to tie them up to the goalpost and throw flour and eggs at them. It wasn't a demeaning thing. It was joke. It was a clown. It was to put you in your place, to know your pecking order is down here. You need to become this guy, and that's the steps you got to take. Bring it back, man. And by the way, every single situation that we hear about that are somebody tattletale and told on somebody, have you noticed it's all coming back later? Fake news.
Yeah. It's ironic.
All fucking fake. And you want to really ruin a guy's life. And it's all been fake. All this shit's fake. And now you're seeing this again. It's just ridiculous, man. Like, this guy should never get a coaching job. If he wants to try to coach, he should never be able to allow it in the NFL. And his pension should be snatched from him, to be real. Take his pension. Yeah. He's got an NFL pension. Take it.
Yeah, and I think Jonathan Martin's in, like, crypto or Bitcoin or some shit. But, Coach, can you speak to, like, being blackballed? Because Richie Incognito, I mean, he was blackballed from the NFL, missed a whole season from this, from a suspension. Can you speak to being blackballed and how this, kind of really affected his career?
Hell yeah. Like, shit, that's what it is right now. Like, I'm dealing with it every day. This is what you do. They can really make a narrative and then create this narrative about you and run with it. And if you don't stand up for it and you just lay down and take it, then that is who you'll be known for. That is who you'll be known as. And I refuse to do it. I refuse to die in this casket getting buried or whatever the fuck happens to me as the guy that just went with the flow. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go with the flow, dog. I want you to answer for your lies. You lied about me. Why haven't you seen kids talk about me in a negative way? Why have all my players came on my show? Why are people defending me online other than anyone that never played for me? If you played for me or coached for me, why haven't I heard from you saying that I'm this guy that Netflix painted me as? I'll wait, as y'all say. I'll continue to wait because I ain't never seen it. Richie Incognito had every single player for him back him up that knew him. Said, man, that's a lie. Richie's a hell of a dude. He's a fucking football player, and he's a great, loyal teammate that stands with his brothers. That's all I ever heard. Yeah. But this one soft, weak little boy bashed his name, and look what happens. Yeah. You get fucking this. Like, I'm just saying. It's very ironic, Bailey, that let's take in racism out of the end zones in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But then we got K-Dot, who's a Compton native, not my Compton native, this new generation Compton who wears bell-bottom tight jeans and shit. He does a show, though, by the way, as a black man, and this is what's interesting. My boys that were at the party was like, you know something, JB? And this is a brother, an OG brother that actually been around him his whole life in Compton. Right. Who played wide receiver for me at Compton, was at the party. You got to meet him. Yep. His son's a big-time player out here at Servite. He's like, this is the funny part. As a hood brother coming from Compton, and he has to tell me, a white dude, this, and it opened my eyes. He said this, and now I've seen other people say it online all of a sudden. We end racism in the end zone, but then we got a black rapper with all black cats on his stage representing him, dancing with him, catered to an all-black audience, but in racism. Yeah. That's a black dude that told me that. That's a black dude that told me that. L.A. rapper, we're on Slap Nation, an L.A. show. An L.A. rapper goes out to New Orleans to do it. And goddamn it, what a slap in the face this is to everybody. It's a joke. The NFL, the NBA, Adam Silver, Roger Goodell are clowns. They're ruining the two largest pro sports, period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a joke, man. It's a joke. But that's where we are in life nowadays.
It is where we are. And one thing you mentioned about going back to Incognito is kind of how do you respond to being blackballed? I mean, he went on to play, respond and play in the NFL for a really long time, have a long, 12, 13-year career. So, I mean, it's how you respond to that because, I mean you
were too young, Bailey. I remember when this all happened and it was a joke. Like, it was an absolute joke. And I was like, what the hell? And then all these different things kept resurfacing up and all these things surfaced. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then this Martin cat wanted a trade and then he wanted out. He was so victimized. He played the victim card so hard that they ran him out. And then the NFL was like trying to beat his ass. I knew for a fact a bunch of NFL players wanted to beat his ass because they knew Richie was a real one. Right. They knew Richie was a regular football Joe who just came to work, busted his ass, was a team guy and loyal to his teammates, and was just a player in the locker room, dog. He was like a around, cool with me, you know what I'm saying? This guy, Jonathan Martin, is such a bitch. And he literally ruined a dude's career that was just a football guy who wanted to go to work and be loyal to his teammates, be nasty up front, which he was, and never was the same. Never was the same. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's ironic, and it's apparently, he never believed he was bullied, and it was his mom pushing the whole thing. Like his mom was trying to push this whole Bullies Gate saga. I mean, what does that say to the parents of this kid, and who's now he's way older now? But what are your thoughts?
That's what I'm saying. This is the guy that. This is the reason. That's why I say he was the start of this whole cancel culture vulture. Mm-hmm. He had a weak ass parent, a mom who wanted to push this, and then you saw what you saw the rise of right after this. Soft ass trainers, soft ass QB coaching, doing the 7-on-7 shit. You saw a rise in soft football because the parents became helicopter parents because of the Jonathan Martin case. Go look it up. His mama was a frontliner in being this soft helicopter parent, and this guy was in the NFL's, Bailey. It wasn't like this guy was in Pop Warner. He's an NFL player needing his fucking mommy to back him. Now, again, we just talked about, Bailey, LeBron James being the guy that was the forefather of this thing. He said, I'm not going to play today. Day of the game. So guess who followed suit? Anthony Edwards. I'm not going to play either. And then you got all these other guys that will say, well, if LeBron did it, I'm going to do it. If an NFL parent of a current player comes out and plays victimhood and claims all this soft shit about his son, who's a grown man making millions of dollars as an O-lineman for the Dolphins, if she comes out, you don't think that Pop Warner high school and youth kids and college parents are going to come out and be the helicopter parent they become? This is the forefront of it all, man. I was talking to Weddle the other day about this. This guy started a lot of this shit we see today. And this guy should be fucking disbarred from any type of pension or any future protection the NFL gives their former players if they give it anyway. But you should talk to Tank Johnson and some other guys about this guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Big Matt will definitely have a take on this as well. But man, it's ironic. 12 years later, this is all coming out to be a complete fucking lie. Unbelievable. And Richie Incognito's going at it as he should, because it really did affect his career negatively.